Are you trying to figure out the right master's program to do so you can fulfill your dream of working in sustainability? Well, then if you are, this is the right video for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Tyanna Bui, and on this channel I like to talk about the sustainability career journey from my lens and like to share all the little tips and advice that I've learned along the way. When I was an undergrad, I had no idea that I wanted to get my master's, and even then, when I decided at some point that I wanted to get my master's, I was so overwhelmed with all the different types of programs out there, and so wanted to create this video to provide some guidelines and some checkpoints to understand if a program would be right for you. The first thing that you have to do before choosing a master's programs to pursue is you're gonna wanna ask yourself, what is it that you want in your career? Why is it that you want to get a master's degree in the first place? Is it because you're stuck and you're not sure what you can do in this field, that's why you want to get your master's? Is it that you want to specialize in something because you've been working in the field and now you've chosen that you want to become more accelerated in this one specialty? Is it that you're kind of stuck in that you want to move up your company but you can't, and so you're trying to go and get your master's to move up the ladder? All these things are really important to understand, because once you figure out why it is that you need a master's degree besides wanting a master's degree, then you're gonna be able to approach looking at all the different programs with a more tailored eye. The next thing that you're gonna wanna look at is the university or the program credibility. And why does this matter? This really does matter because if you're starting at a program that's really new, for example, that program might not have a wide, diverse net of alumni. If the program is new, but let's say it's coming out of a really reputable global university, then you know for sure that this program will probably be developed with the best professors out there and the best research out there. University credibility overall, though, doesn't really define if the program itself is going to be as great, but in looking at both the program and the university and their credibility can really help you to see if it's going to be worth all the money that you may be investing for your future. You're also going to want to see if there's any specializations within the programs that they offer. Just because there's a master's of environmental science and management degree out there, it could be that they have multiple specializations, and that definitely was the case for my school. They had specializations in policy, in corporate sustainability, which is the one that I fulfilled and completed, natural resources and conservation. And so if those are some of the buckets that you're looking to pursue your career in, it'll be important to make sure that the program that you're wanting to enroll and apply for has those for you. As you're looking through the curriculum, you want to make sure that the master's program that you're applying to has some practical experience that you can gain. Now, for the program that I completed, there is about a year to a year and a half master's thesis where we worked with a real life client and we helped them solve an environmental challenge. And so in that way, it was like we were consulting them and doing research and data and a lot of collaborations with different teams at the company or amongst the co-workers or colleagues that I had at the time. But also beyond my thesis, there was different courses that I took, like carbon accounting, and in that course we did have to find a client to calculate their emissions for. And so you definitely want to be sure that within this space you're getting hands-on experience, because a lot of the work can be really technical, like understanding LCA assessment or calculating the greenhouse gas emissions. Those things are technical, and so if you can get direct experience on it, or if you can help a client, then that'll only help you as you graduate and start looking for your own job. Some ways that you can see that there are more hands-on opportunities is looking through the curriculum again. Typically in there, they'll describe to see if there's a capstone project that you need to complete or a master's thesis. I'd say the difference between the two is that the capstone project is a lot shorter. It could last pretty much up to a quarter or 2 quarters or a whole semester, whereas a master's thesis really lasts for at least a year time in order to work with the client, get the right data, analyze it, write a huge paper at the end. And so those are some of the things that you're going to be wanting to look for to see if you want to gain those types of experiences. Besides the master's thesis and the capstone project, what you can also get involved in is a professor's research. If you're looking to have more of a technical, hands-on experience in research, You can look at the professor's portfolio and profile on their on the website, and seeing if those are the types of projects that you'd want to be a part of and want to actually apply in the real world. The next thing that you're going to want to evaluate is how the program is set up. Is it very independent when you'll just be working by yourself? Is it that it's more cross-collaborative? Is it that you're going to be spending a lot of time researching? Is it that the whole thing is just full of courses only? Like, these are some of the more important details that you want to dig into, because I mean, speaking from my own experience, because my whole channel is about corporate sustainability, what you're gonna get into is working with so many different teams cross-collaboratively. And you're gonna be working with so many different personalities, and building that in school will help you in the real world. If you decide to pursue a master's degree that's a little more independent focused, and let's say you're just taking courses, that may limit you to be more competitive as you come out of getting your master's degree, because a lot of the time in corporate sustainability, again, you are working with a lot of people, a lot of different personalities. You are working with folks who may not know a lot about sustainability. So being able to describe what the carbon footprint is, what is scope 3, like those are some of the things that you're gonna be having to do on your everyday basis. What you're going to want to look at next is the career prospects and the alumni network. Now, some graduate programs in this space really do highlight their alumni portals on LinkedIn. They might have a special page for them, or maybe sharing stories through their LinkedIn of the accomplishments from the students who've taken that program. And so some of the things I recommend for you to do is to go on their website and seeing if they do highlight their career team, if it's really engaging with the students, to make sure that they're well prepared as they come out of school. Another thing that you're going to want to do is to explore LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your best friend here, but you can just look at the school's program, and it's pretty easy if they're in your first to third network, if any of those people have attended. And I think when you go onto a school's LinkedIn page, you can see how many students have participated in their program, or if they have a LinkedIn account, of course. I say the next thing that you want to look at after looking at all of the programs, let's say, okay, I really like this program, it aligns to the career goals and objectives that I have. What you're going to want to look at next are the application requirements, and they're all kind of similar, but they all differ in their own ways. I know that when I was attending, you needed to take the GED, and I really don't think that's the case anymore. If I remember correctly, people don't need to take the GED anymore, which lucky you, but that might have changed. But what some of these application requirements will look like is, how much is the application fee? Do you have to get letters of recommendation? How many do you have to get? Have you fulfilled the prerequisite requirements? And that's a big thing. It's like, you want to make sure that when you were an undergrad that you did take the right courses, or if you are missing some courses, that you go to community college to fill in those gaps, so you know that you qualify as you're going through the process. You're also going to want to make sure that you understand each of the deadlines that are there, because, for example, when I was first applying to get my master's, I literally didn't know that I wanted to do it until November. And when I was looking at the programs, there was some on the East Coast I was really interested in. They're all due by, I think, Thanksgiving or early December. And then by that time, it's like, I haven't written my essays yet. I haven't gotten letters of recommendations yet. Oh my goodness, I can't do that. But I was very lucky in that there are some programs out there where their applications are due more in the springtime. And so that's gonna be something that's important for you as you go about this journey, making sure that it aligns with the timeline that you're looking for. The last little piece of advice that I have is, as you're looking for a program for you to enter, I mean, you're gonna be dedicating money, time, sweat, tears sometimes, because you're so stressed. And you just wanna make sure that the program can provide you with opportunities that you do want beyond the degree that you're gonna get. So, are there TA-ships available for you to waive your tuitions? Can you waive your tuitions by working with a professor? Are there opportunities for networking? I know the program that I was in, they didn't just hold networking opportunities for the students, but we're able to network with outside organizations, and they're the ones who facilitated that. And towards the end of the year, when we were done with our research, we had the opportunity to present it to a broad audience, so not just the clients that we worked with, but to other companies who were there to look at our big board and to ask us questions and for us to present our studies. Are there scholarship opportunities? I think that's something that people always miss out on, but especially I'd say in the DEI space. When I graduated, there ended up being a DEI fund for future students who wanted to come into the program. So definitely don't miss out on free money. And so what I think would have been really beneficial with this video is if I did a cross comparison between all the different programs that I'm familiar with for you guys. But when I was starting to build this, I realized that the only person to determine which program is best is you. And so what I did is that you can go to the description below and you can see all the different programs around the US that at least I'm familiar with. I selected these based on making sure that the curriculum is pretty robust and pretty wide. Again, this channel is focused on corporate sustainability, so these programs are more tailored for those types of positions after graduating. With these programs that I listed, that doesn't mean one is better than another. These are really just the ones that I'm most familiar with and I feel comfortable sharing with you guys because of the research that I've done on them. But until next time, guys, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions at all, please leave it in the comments below. If you have any other programs that I did not list in the description, it would be so great if you can also share the programs in the comments below so other people can see what else is out there. But with that, guys, I hope you have a great one and we'll chat soon. Bye.